Hey, hope how we doing? Good to see you all. We've had another manager sacking since we last spoke. We've had another manager sacking. Vitor Pereira, as expected, I think pretty much everyone thought that he would be off, didn't they? To be honest, everyone thought that would be it for him, and off he's gone. Wolves sacking him. Nobody's really surprised, are they? It's been a bad run for Wolves, certainly in the last couple of weeks. And now we move on to West Ham against Newcastle today. Newcastle reverting back to the tried and tested midfield. Tonali, Joe Linton, Bruno Guimaraes. West Ham, I think Nuno Santos lost his last 4 against Newcastle, so he's not in a particularly good run of form against the Geordies, so we'll have to see exactly how that shapes up. But, yeah, going to be a good game, this one. Don't know what I'm really predicting, I guess. I think West Ham are good value for a point, at least. Yeah, I think West Ham are decent value for a point in this one. Callum Wilson starting against his former club too, of course. Right, sorry, let me catch up with everyone on TikTok and see all the chat coming in on YouTube and Twitch and everywhere else as well. So good to see everyone. Hopefully you had a nice Saturday night. I certainly did, with Liverpool winning. Yeah, love it. You love to see it. It's absolutely brilliant stuff. Right, what are we up to? Not that one. There you go. Reese, about time. Ian, Newcastle will win today. I know, I left it very, very late today. Very, very late. But that's because I've made a mistake. I've learned something last night. I didn't know this. But I stupidly, after the game last night, so Liverpool finished against Aston Villa. God, I've got to start the clock. Liverpool finished against Aston Villa last night at, what time was it? About 10:15? Something like that. I immediately, as soon as I ended the live, I filmed my match reaction video, my player ratings video, and my 3 things we learned video, right? Filmed all 3 of them. That took about an hour. Thereabouts. I mean, if you go and look, the footage is about 40 minutes on each one. So that took about an hour. I then had to edit them, upload them, get them all posted, and that took about an hour. So all of a sudden it was like 12:15 and I've just posted 3 videos. So I was absolutely knackered when I finished last night. Reese, rubbish result last night, stunk out the gaff. And Lisha, don't get too ahead of yourself, big man. You'll see reality in 2 days' time, mate. What do you mean reality? Listen, we're gonna smash Real Madrid as well. We'll put Real Madrid in the place as well. We're back above United. You lads have fallen off. That resurgence, that United resurgence lasted long, didn't it? Come on then. Right, hang on a second. I'm well behind here. 2 minutes 25. Come on, Key. Sort yourself out, lad. Callum says West Ham 1, Newcastle 3, and Man City 3, Bournemouth 1. You think both teams to score? Fair enough. Doctor Mania, I've got it down as a draw as well, but wouldn't be surprised if West Ham nicked it late on. It's a big game, this, for West Ham. They've got to start showing some mettle. Reese, why are United fans piping up? They were second for about 3 seconds. It's 3 seconds more than they were involved in a title race for that few days. You've got to give them something. Lisha, Spurs looked absolutely abysmal yesterday. We will have these lot next weekend. Do you know what though? But Spurs are one of them teams who are in patches a little bit. Like it feels like they're developing a little bit as a team under Thomas Frank. Because if you look back, it wasn't that long ago, was it, that they were all over the place, and then they played like City they started the season really well. Here's West Ham flying forward. Hit it. Off the post! Oh, big start for West Ham. I tell you what, Newcastle, they're already struggling. Capture your time, love your live. Are you in an agency? I'm not, mate, no. I'm not. Because every agency I've experienced all says, oh, do TikTok battles. I'm not doing TikTok battles. So if that's your goal, that ain't me, mate. That's not me. Oh, Newcastle have stuck it in. Who's that? It's Murphy. Murphy smashed it in. Oh, Newcastle 1-0 up. Just as we thought West Ham would maybe cause some issues. And do you know what? West Ham have started brightly. And they've hit the post, and then all of a sudden Newcastle go up the other end of the pitch. And look at Jared Bowen. Jared Bowen is just... Oh, you can see it. It's written all over his face. He's just like... What am I wasting my career here for? Capture your time. We don't expect you to do them, but I'll message you the info. Yeah, hey, by all means, mate. That's very, very nice of you. Thank you very much. But yeah, I don't do that. I most of my stuff is YouTube and Twitch and whatever else. TikTok, all good, but I don't do. I'm not doing battles. Callum says Van der Ven and Spence ignored Frank. Have you seen that? I haven't. No, I didn't see that at all. Hi Sam, how's it going? And Reese, I'll be honest, Voltamada and Ekatiki have been the best new signings in terms of strikers. Yeah, Murphy it was, yeah. Good finish from Murphy as well, it has to be said. It was a good goal. Liam, afternoon, Key. Good to see you, Liam. How's it going? Reese, Jared Bowen may as well retire now. It just ain't really working, is it? I don't understand why he stayed at West Ham personally. He's 28 now. He's already missed the boat, hasn't he? In terms of going and getting a big move, he's not going to do that now. That ship's sailed. Whereas I think if he'd have left maybe a couple of years ago, maybe after the Europa Conference League win, when sort of Declan Rice left, I think that was the time for him. Because at 26 or 25, whatever he would have been then, he could have got a big move, and Klopp would have absolutely done it. Klopp would have loved that one. Callum, that was a stay humble a moment. JB the Red, normal procedure, ignoring. Mate, I'm not reading people. Listen, if you say something that's relative to the game, I'll read it out. Absolutely, I'll read it out. If it's football related. But I don't read every comment out. It's not about you, Chief. It's really not about you. It's not that deep. Don't worry about it. Dr. Humani, I think West Ham need a Chris Wood type striker. They're really lacking going forward. They need any striker, don't they? Callum Wilson was a bit of a last dash signing for them. It was just one of them, wasn't it? It's just they need something up there. Pope, thought you were watching the Old Firm in the Mickey Mouse semi-final. I very nearly I was debating watching Rangers. LFC Jamie, how's it going? Good to see you, man. And Liam Manning, Bowen, Palace would be good, to be fair. And Lisha, I'll be honest, another player that's been wasted in his club is Rodgers too. He'd be perfect in this Amarim system. Capture your time, sent message via TikTok PM. Also, I'm a Brighton fan. Nice, man. Well, we could do with maybe we could collab on a Liverpool Brighton game or something. Or, you know, we've got Brighton coming up soon on. I've got them scheduled, I think, Brighton. So, yeah, should do a watch along together, man. Callum Bowen should go to Palace. He'd be nice backup. Nah, he's better than that. Jared Bowen, if he was to leave West Ham, it'd be to go to a... Do you know what I end up thinking? I actually think Bowen ends up doing. I think he probably stays at West Ham another year, and then he gets to the point where he's maybe 29, 30. They can't command a massive fee for him, but he's still doing all right. And then he could go to like a Liverpool or a City, somewhere like that, but as a backup. He's not going in as the star player. He's going in as a backup, and I think that's what will happen with him. I think he leaves next summer. Liam Manning says Nuno's getting sacked after this. Liam, cheers for the gift, man. Thank you very much, as always. Appreciated. Come on, West Ham. Let's get one back here. Let's get one back. Hit it. Oh, I tell you what. Nick Pope didn't cover himself in glory there. Good start to this game. Very good start. Callum, what better than that? Palace have just won the cup and what, they're top four. Well, they're not really, mate. They're not. Palace are not a side that are a huge step up on West Ham. I know right now they might feel like it, but they're not. Like, Palace probably won't be in Europe next year, will they? The odds are Palace aren't going to be in Europe next year. So in that sense, they're probably not going to be any different, really, to West Ham. They've won a cup, yes. But I imagine Glasner leaves. I imagine there's a bit of a change coming at Palace. A bit of a change of the guard. If Jared Bowen is leaving West Ham, he's leaving for a club that has a serious, consistent record of success. Right? And I feel like he's only going to go to a Liverpool, a City, maybe an Arsenal, maybe a Chelsea. Teams like that who win things year in, year out. Well, I say Arsenal. Chelsea, City, Liverpool, Man United, maybe. Those are the sorts of clubs that I think Jared Bowen looks at. Here's West Ham down the right-hand side. Wan-Bissaka, Bowen, penalty referee! Yes, clear penalty. That was a clear penalty. He absolutely smashed him down, that. That's a nailed-on penalty to West Ham. Come on. Clear penalty. Unknown B says, I would definitely take Bowen at Liverpool. Yeah, you'd take him all day. And what is Malik T? Is it Malik Tial, that? What is Malik Tial doing? Hey, Newcastle fans have been telling me this fella's the best thing since sliced bread. That is absolutely dreadful. Malik Tial. How much did you pay for him? He's shocking. Look at that. Like Bambi on ice. Just falls into Bowen. And he's got the cheek to complain to the referee. That's the easiest penalty decision you're ever likely to see, that. LFC Jamie says, great win yesterday. Why are we checking this with VAR? What is going on? Why are we checking it with VAR? That is sickening. Why? This is the reason people get fuming with VAR. Look at that. No. He clears the player out first. He clears the player out. Doesn't matter if he gets a little... Look at him. He's cleared the player out. It's a penalty. It's a penalty. That is a penalty. What is going on here? It is a penalty all day. I'm sorry, if this gets overturned, this is laughable. VAR they're having a laugh. They're having a joke if this gets overturned. They're having a laugh. Penalty given. Good. Oh, no, they're going to go and look at it. Oh, do you know what? What is the point? What is the point anymore? This is disgusting. You know what? West Ham fans, when you looks down, you looks down. When your luck is down, I'm sorry. I feel really sorry for West Ham fans here because that is a clear penalty. He's cleaned him out. He's cleaned him out. I don't know what more you want. He's absolutely cleaned him out here. There's no way you can't ref. He's going to change his mind, right? Because he's been sent to the monitor. He's going to change his mind here. I'm disgusted. I am disgusted at this. Nah, that is... Mate, he's cleaned the player out. He has absolutely cleaned the player out. It's a penalty, ref, and you're still looking at it. You've got to go and give the pen. Go and give the penalty. But I know you're not going to. VAR, no penalty. Sickening. Sickening. That was a penalty all day, every day. I tell you what, well, Malik Tiao is a very, very lucky boy. A very, very lucky boy. And Jared Bowen saying, well, it's a corner then, isn't it? As an absolute minimum, it's a corner then. So you're either giving a penalty or you're giving a corner. Corner ball. Disgusting. Should have been that is a penalty all day, every day. Look at it. Swipes the player away. Shocking. Honestly, I don't really understand it anymore. I'm lost. No corner either. Exactly. No corner either as well. Ronnie, I know we drew with Forest yesterday, but 4 games undefeated, and what a goal from Ahmad. Hey, listen, United will keep doing that sort of thing, but I thought you were very, very lucky yesterday. Disgusting decision, says Sam. Agreed, mate. Absolutely agreed. John Steve, refs are forever on Newcastle's side. It's tiring now. Alright, Dylan, how's it going? Good to see you, man. Ronnie, it's nice to see you win a game, Key. Hopefully Arsenal bottle it at some point. Still time for Arsenal. Be yourself, Dylan, was it a penalty? It was one of the clearest penalty decisions you're likely to see. He literally swipes him. The clumsiest tackle. Ronnie, that 5 minutes yesterday when we switched off was just awful. Yeah, just after half time, Forest came out, didn't they, and absolutely blew United away. You were fortunate though, because I think in that little spell, Forest could have gone 3 or 4 up. They had some real chances, and United looked like they were just languishing. I mean, Ahmad's finish is good in the end. You've got to give him credit for that, but again, the first goal wasn't a corner, was it? That's the other thing. Watch Joe Linton get away with murder again now. Oh yeah, hey, Newcastle fans have been saying that for a while. He's gonna put players in the stands. He'll put him in the stands. Come on, West Ham, here we go. This is better. Ronnie, I would have stuck Harry Maguire on for dealing with Forest's crosses. Well, they eventually, that's where the 2 goals came from, wasn't it? JB the Red VAR says he just got his studs to the ball. It's studs that he absolutely swiped him still, yeah. Oh, listen, he might have got a touch on the ball. That's irrelevant. Irrelevant. Kane Selden, good to see you. How's it going? Celtic Rangers still 0-0. L Brown, I'm so happy Salah is back to scoring now. He was brilliant last night, wasn't he? Ian in Austin, Texas. How's it going, mate? In the Lone Star State, we have lots of corrupt refs here too. Oh, blimey. I backed... Who is it you've got? I can't remember the... Was it the Titans? I think I was backing the Titans the other day. Niall Adamson, if you think that's a pen, go watch another sport. It was a pen. Clear pen. Clear. Crystal clear. Tell you what. Ariola's not looking particularly comfortable there, is he? He's not looking particularly comfortable at all. SpongeBob Salah is such a stat pad. Gifted goal yesterday as well. I'm taking it you didn't watch the game at all then. Salah yesterday was unreal. Unreal. All game. Oh, Celtic scored. 3-star Reds, today I'd like to offer my thoughts and prayers to those involved in yesterday's sickening train attack in Huntingdon. Yeah, I was going to say that's, to be honest, there's been some horrendous, there's been some absolutely horrendous stuff happened in the last month or so, hasn't it? It all seems to have come all at once. So yeah, very, very sad. Niall Adamson, wouldn't expect anything different from a Liverpool fan. I wouldn't expect anything different from a cyclist, Niall. John Steve, you could break someone's leg and still touch the ball, still a foul. And I was going to say, it wasn't even like a clean touch on the ball, was it? He's literally like, the ball didn't change direction. He didn't knock it away from Bowen. The fact that you get a touch on the ball, that doesn't mean it's a clean tackle when you swipe a player's leg. Hey up Mick, how's it going man? Good to see you. And User688 thinks Salah not playing the last few games has done him the world of good. Yeah, I think Salah's looked so fresh last night. Be yourself Dylan, own goal in the Celtic Rangers game. Sam, I'm happy that Vitor has been sacked, but I don't know if it's going to change anything. I mean, is there any early news for who it might be who's taking him or who's taking over from him? Let's have a look and see who the next managers are. Next Wolves manager odds. Brendan Rodgers is early favourite. Gary O'Neill actually is favourite, then Brendan Rodgers, then Eric Ten Hag, then Kevin Muscat, then Sergio Conceição, followed by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Lee Carsley, Edin Terzic, Marco Rose and Adi Hutter also. Adolf Hutter. That name's died out. See, 2 wins in 8. I guess Liverpool are back when Villa could have scored 2 or 3 at the start of the game. Villa had 0 big chances in the first half, mate. I don't know what you're talking about. They didn't do anything in the first half. They had 1 shot which was deflected off Van Dijk and Mamardashvili tipped it over. Liverpool battered him. We absolutely battered him. We had 3 big chances in the first half to their 0. We had all of the ball. We had more shots. I don't know what metrics you're looking at, but we absolutely battered Villa from start to finish yesterday. They couldn't live with us in that second half. See, Rodgers hit the post, momentum. Yeah, Rodgers hit the post. He was offside. He was offside. If you're counting that, you're counting Ekatiki's goal, which was also offside. Rodgers was offside when he hit that shot. Delta 4 saying Newcastle channel saying it was a good tackle after looking at it again. Well, yeah, listen, they're bound to, aren't they? That's about as unbiased an opinion you're going to get from the Newcastle fan channel. Pope, God bless, VAR, chopped off for Celtic, nice. Ronnie Dodge, real test for UK is Madrid. Well, listen, Madrid's going to be the ultimate test. It is always the ultimate test for teams. They're probably, maybe the best side in Europe at this moment in time. So, yeah, Real Madrid and Anfield is going to be a really, really big game. Manchester City not long after is also going to be really important for us. And then Forest not long after that, of course, as well. Hey, and Forest, if my mate Dylan's still if he still fancies it, no pressure, mate, but if you're still up for it, you know, Liverpool against Forest, we'll have our first ever dual stream, or our first ever co-host. whatever you want to call it. See, I still think it was a pen on Gyökeres in the Newcastle game. Nah, listen, the difference with the Newcastle one is that the ball goes away from Gyökeres. So if you look at the direction of travel from where the ball is, it gets knocked away from him. He isn't recovering that ball. Malik Thiaw's foot getting an absolute nick on the ball. Jared Bowen could still get to that. He could still get to that, but he can't. The reason he can't get to it is because he gets swiped out. Whereas as the tackle on Gyökeres, the ball got knocked away from him. Sam says, I wouldn't mind Brendan Rodgers. I know what he can do. Nah, I don't think so. Callum, Sam, you'll get Mourinho. Mourinho's at Benfica. You're not going to get Mourinho. But it might be Brendan Rodgers. Yeah, Brendan Rodgers is certainly a possibility. He's one of the early favourites anyway. See, still a goal scoring opportunity for Gyökeres to get for a cut back to Saka or someone else. He was away. The ball was going out towards the corner flag, and Gyökeres would have had to go and retrieve it. It wouldn't have been an opportunity. West Ham, come on, Jared Bowen, great turn. Oh, they're in if they get this. Off the crossbar and behind. It's going to be a corner. It's going to be a corner. Reece, Ollie could do a job at West Ham. Someone's going to have to do a job at West Ham. Yeah, you think he might have been offside there, you know. He might have just been offside. Right, hang on, 1 second. Reece, people forget that Ollie was United's best manager since Ferguson. Ollie's at the wheel. Give him what he wants. Tony says Tonali, baby. West Ham. Chance. Hit it. Wan-Bissaka does well there. Oh, that was a great ball from Wan-Bissaka. Do you know what? I have given Wan-Bissaka so much stick. He is one of the best right-backs in the league. He's unbelievable, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I can't believe United sold him, to be honest. Crazy. And West Ham, all the pressure is now on Newcastle. Newcastle have rolled their luck this game. It's a fabulous ball in that from Wan-Bissaka. Rogue shouts, but West Ham should have gone for Carrick. And Ryan, he's a 1v1 demon too. He is. He's just so good defensively, but he started to add that attacking side to his game as well. That was a wonderful cross, that. Rampaging forward. Celtic 1-0. They're not chopping that one off. And Callum, why did Burnley play so open against Arsenal but put a house in front of our attack? I think because they know that Arsenal are not going to take really any risks. So Arsenal, if they sat back against Arsenal, a set piece probably wins it. Whereas if they go out and have a go at Arsenal a little bit, they might even have nicked a goal and got in front. Come on. Yeah, I like Wan-Bissaka a lot. He's brilliant. And he's drifted into centre-back there for West Ham as well, which is another big side of his game. He can kind of drift into the middle as well. Good game this so far. Beat yourself till I'm ready for the match. Come on, Sean Dyche. Yes, good lad. Come on, get it away. Could do with a West Ham equaliser before half-time. Try and put a bit of pressure on Newcastle in the second half. Because otherwise, they'll just do what Arsenal do and sit back and then hit them on the counter. See, though, hang on. See, you're saying that Wan-Bissaka's awareness is terrible. I think that's as part of the setup that Manchester United had at the time. Oh, God, fresh air shot from Somerville. Yeah, the setup that United had at the time. I think you could have put Prime Cafu at the back, and it wouldn't have mattered. Man United at the back have been terrible for like 10 years. They've always been pretty poor since Ferguson left. Delta Force, the problem with Eddie Howe is he is not ruthless when it comes to selection. If Dan Burn legs fell off, he would still play him. To be honest though, most managers have a player like that, don't they? There's some managers, pretty much every manager to be honest, every manager has at least one player who they're like, you're my absolute, I'm not picking anyone but you in that position. If you're fit, you're starting. Ollie, do you agree with the pen decision? No. No, not at all. I thought it was a penalty. Reece, do you think Rashford will sign permanent for Barcelona? He's done alright recently, hasn't he? He's started to come into his own a little bit out there. I don't know if they'll take him on at the wages that he's on, mind. You know, he might have to take a drop in wages, but if he wants to go, I think he can get the move. Barca will pay the money, but he'll probably have to take a pretty big drop in wages. Ryan, look at Marco Silva with Iwobi. He's upset. Marco, you know what though? Alex Iwobi's really underrated. I like Iwobi. Iwobi's the type of player who could have done a job for Liverpool at one point. Not necessarily in a starting 11, but you know, he can kind of reminds me a little bit of Gini Wijnaldum at times, Alex Iwobi. I am curious. Apparently, Gary O'Neill odds on to go back to Wolves. Awful appointment if true. O'Neill and Brendan Rodgers are kind of both around about the 3-1 mark. Free kick to West Ham. Right, Paquetá over it. I think that's a mistake. I wouldn't have put Paquetá on this one. Come on. Paquetá, left-footed. Oh, big save from Nick Pope. He went under the wall and he went the goalkeeper's side as well. That's not a bad save from Pope, actually. Did well there. Ollie, are you watching the Dirty Mackems tomorrow? I am indeed, yes. Looking forward to it. And JB the Red, Sessegnon underrated, yes or no? No. No, I don't think he's underrated. I think he's kind of at the level people think he is. He's all right. He's no better than all right. I am Crute. I can't see Brendan taking a job that would relegate him most likely. I can see Gerrard going there. No, Gerrard isn't going to fucking Wolves. No chance. I think Brendan Rodgers might, but something tells me Brendan Rodgers thinks of himself as a bit better than the Wolves job. Like he took the Leicester job and they were in the Champions League. They were in and around that space. Took a Celtic job, you know, he's managed in the Champions League regularly. He had the Liverpool job before. I think Brendan Rodgers, if Brendan Rodgers was to kind of privately say, what sort of club do you think you should be managing next? I think Brendan Rodgers would say, I think I should be a prime target for, you know, a Chelsea or a Spurs or maybe a Newcastle, you know, a team like that. A team like just kind of maybe on the outside of the title winning sides. They're not right in. If he's coming back to the Premier League, he's not going to manage a Liverpool, a City or an Arsenal, but he might manage maybe a Newcastle, maybe a Villa. You know, that sort of side. But he isn't. I think he's a lot better, or he thinks he's a lot better than Wolves, and therefore I don't think Brendan Rodgers takes it. CJ, is that a St. Helens accent? It is indeed, mate, yes. Or at least people, I'm led to believe that it's a St. Helens accent. It's kind of a bit of a mongrel accent. It's all over the place a bit. C, start, bench, sell, Gyökeres, Sesko, Voltemade. Start Voltemade, bench. Start Voltemade, bench, Sesko, sell, Gyökeres. Lampard to Wolves. And Zach, I think I'm in love with Ekatike, no homo. He didn't do that well last night. I thought he was pretty poor last night, Ekatike, to be honest. CJ, nice, I'm from Newton. Newton Le Willows, lovely. Originally I'm from near Sutton, near Clock. Or at least that's where I grew up anyway. Reese, I knew you'd sell Gyökeres. Of course you're going to sell Gyökeres. I'm going to keep Gyökeres, no chance. Start, bench, sell, Palmer, Wirtz, Cunha. Palmer, Wirtz, Cunha. It would probably be start Palmer, bench Wirtz, sell Cunha. And that's like over the last few years, maybe the last couple of years. If it was based off this season alone, you'd probably say none of them have really been brilliant, have they, to be honest? They've all been pretty terrible. Yeah, I don't know, maybe Wirtz because he's fit, or Cunha because he's fit, starts. They've all been pretty poor this season, though. Snap summary, Cunha was one of the best players in the league last season. Yeah, and Wirtz was one of the best players in Europe last season. And Palmer was really good last season, so, you know, and Palmer's better than Cunha, isn't he? If you had a swap, if you could swap Palmer for Cunha, you'd swap him. If you could swap Cunha for Wirtz, you'd swap him. Oh, what a goal! And Nick Pope, you've had a disaster. Oh, Lucas Paquetá with an absolutely... I'm not even going to say it's a wonder strike. It's not a wonder strike. It's a really, really simple goal to concede from Nick Pope's perspective here. It's 1-1. And Nick Pope has had an absolute shocker. Look at him. The camera's on him. He knows he has had an absolute disaster there. And do you know what? It's fair, this. This is the correct scoreline now. Because West Ham have deserved to at least be level in this game. The ball comes out to Paquetá. He's about 30 yards out and left-footed, near post. Oh, you've had an absolute shocker. That's terrible. That is terrible. Zach Ekatike got a standing ovation last night. What game are you watching? He got a standing ovation because he was the only sub we made and Liverpool had played really well. He didn't do anything last night. Didn't do a thing. Snap summary, being good in the Prem compared to the Bundesliga aren't comparable. He was in the Champions League. He's a champion, mate. He's won a Bundesliga title, which not many teams outside of Bayern Munich have won. Cunha's the best in the league. Little Rich 94, Liverpool were absolutely unbelievable last season. Doesn't mean they're the same now. That's a team, not a player, though, isn't it? If you're talking about one player, you didn't say who's the best player this season, because if you had, I'd give you a different answer. But if you talk about who's the best player, you've got to factor in how they've played over a period of time, not just in the opening 9 games of the season. Do you know what I mean? You've got to look at it over maybe a couple of years at least. And over the last couple of years, there is absolutely no one who would pay the sort of money that Liverpool paid for Wirtz. Wirtz is certainly... Before this season started, Florian Wirtz was certainly considered top 3 number 10s in world football. Matheus Cunha wasn't. Matheus Cunha had a really good season last year for Wolves, and I like him a lot. But he's only just scored his first goal for United. Let's not act like he's been incredible this season. He scored 1 goal for United. He's not really done an awful lot, has he? Oliver Lingard, if you think United would sell Cunha for anyone, you clearly don't watch football. Yeah, there's no better player than Cunha. There's no better player than Matheus Cunha. He's got 1 goal all season. And United are where they are in the league, having crashed out to Grimsby. And, yeah, of course. If you think that Matheus Cunha, there isn't a better player around, then you need to watch a different game. See, he says Sancho looked like Messi in the Bundesliga as well, mate. Yeah, but Sancho is an anomaly. That's not the... Kevin De Bruyne looks incredible in the Bundesliga. So, that's exactly the same thing. Kevin De Bruyne was exceptional in the Bundesliga. He was exceptional here. Delta Force, as a Newcastle fan, I know what Newcastle fans think about Botman and TR. Do you think they are as good? Absolutely not, no. No, I think TR was incredibly clumsy and should have conceded a penalty in this game. And I think Botman is never fit. When he has been fit, he's been okay. Only okay. I think if Newcastle are seriously going to compete at the top end of the table, as in and around the Champions League spots, they need 2 better centre-backs. Zach, Bundesliga to Premier League flops. Werner, Havertz, Simmons, Sesko, Wirtz and Kunku, Sancho. When will Premier League teams learn? Zach, for every one of them, I can give you the one who came, did absolutely unbelievable. Gravenberch, Kevin De Bruyne, Gvardiol, Mateta, Lacroix. Like, how long do you want it? There's loads of great players who've come from the Bundesliga to the Premier League. Loads of them. Erling Haaland. There's loads of them. We can go on all day naming players who've done unbelievably well from the Bundesliga to the Prem. Kanate, Soboslai. You could name loads of them. We've done absolutely really well out of the Bundesliga at Liverpool. And you call yourself a Liverpool fan. That's the crazy thing. Kanate, Soboslai. How many players? Gvardiol again from City. There's loads of great players who've come to Liverpool. Gundogan. Can name loads of great players who've come from there. And one of the ones you've named as well, by the way, are Sesko, Xavi Simons and Wirtz. Get a life. Liam Vernon, Brendan Rodgers is favourite to get the Wolves job. He's second favourite behind Gary O'Neill. Zach, that's still a 50% flop rate. That's an awful gamble. Well, do it for La Liga then. Do it for La Liga. Do it for Ligue 1. Do it for Serie A. You'll find it's about 50-50. It's about the same across the board. See, Lacroix and Mateta haven't exactly set the world alight, have they? Right, well, there you go. That is where we cease to listen to your opinions. Lacroix and Mateta haven't set the world alight. Listen, Lacroix is better than either of these two centre-backs that Newcastle have. Maxence Lacroix for Palace is miles better than Thiaw and Botman. Red card to Rangers. Tilo Asgard sent off. High studs. Liam Vernon, Thiago. Yeah, well, I mean, Thiago as well, of course. Thiago Alcantara's another one. Zach, high-profile Ligue 1 to Premier League players almost never fail, actually. It's an odd statement. Ligue 1 to Premier League players from... never fail, okay. Nicolas Pepe. How did Nicolas Pepe do? I think he might be the highest profile one of all. Is he the highest... Is he the most expensive player from Ligue 1, by the way? Yeah, Nicolas Pepe. Djibril Cissé. Florian Thauvin. There's plenty of them. There's loads of them. Liam, wasn't Pepe like 72 million? Yes. Yeah, he was unbelievably poor as well. Here we go. Let's do this then. The 13 most expensive signings from Ligue 1 to the Premier League, right? Anthony Martial, Nicolas Pepe, Tanguy Ndombele, Alexandre Lacazette, Manuel Ugarte, Axel Disasi. Come on! You said the high-profile signings from the Premier League to Ligue 1 are usually very good. You are talking out your ring piece, sunshine. You've just been proven wrong. You've just been absolutely shattered to bits there. Nicolas Pepe, Tanguy Ndombele, Anthony Martial. Forget the Ligue 1 aspect. That is basically just a list of terrible players in the Premier League. It just so happens they've all come from Ligue 1. But yeah, Pepe and Ndombele, Martial, Ugarte, Disasi. Yeah, it's not good. It's not a good look. Zach Disasi, how is that high profile? He wasn't even a French international. Mate, he is in the top 10 all-time highest signings from Ligue 1 to the Premier League. He cost 40 million quid. So yes, he is high profile. Manuel Ugarte, also high profile. Lacazette, Anthony Martial. Benjamin Mendy's in there as well. Benjamin Mendy wasn't terrific. I mean, amongst a number of other reasons. But Anthony Martial, Tanguy Ndombele, Nicolas Pepe. Even Jeremy Doku. Jeremy Doku cost nearly 50, well, over 50 million. He's not pulled up any trees, has he? Zach, Ugarte isn't even French. I don't give a fuck about it. Well, you didn't say anything about French, did you, Zach? You didn't say anything about French. You said players coming from Ligue 1. Zach, Thierry Henry and Elka Desai, Perez Vieira all started in Ligue 1. But that's not. Then you're talking about French players, mate. You're just talking out your backside now. Come on, Zach. You got to do better than that, mate. User 688, 250 goals for Liverpool Football Club, third highest goal scorer of all time. And what about Kylian Mbappe and Henry? They did all right, didn't they? He's changing the conversation now, isn't he, James? Yeah, he switched it. He switched it now from just French players, when actually what he said is that the Ligue 1 wasn't... Ligue 1 players signing to the Premier League were historically very, very good, which is nonsense. Zach, I'm talking about players that started their career in Ligue 1. Oh, so you are changing it then? That is not what you said. That isn't what you said. But even if you're talking about players that started their career in League 1, Anthony Martial, about as high profile as you can get. Tanguy Ndombele, Nicolas Pepe, there you go. All three of them. Liam Vernon, Wolves are still going to get relegated regardless of the new manager bounce. Do you think so? Delta Force, I agree with Botman. I forgot he plays for Newcastle. He is out that much, but Newcastle fans love Thiaw and see him as a big part of our future. But it's interesting to get your opinion. I think he's not a bad player. I just think he's a bit clumsy. And maybe he needs a better partner alongside him. I don't know, but I don't think Botman is that player. I just think they're not bad players, but I think if you want to be where Newcastle fans aspire to be, which is Champions League, in and around that zone, you need better centre-backs than Malik Thiaw and Sven Botman. They are backup centre-backs then. They're not competing for the Champions League places. No chance. Genga, afternoon key, good draw for my lads yesterday. We'd have lost that game this season, or last season. Yeah, I think you would have done. Actually. See, didn't Martial absolutely tear apart the best defender of all time, Van Dijk? When? When did Martial tear apart the best defender of all time, Van Dijk? When did that happen? I think you may be about to make yourself look very, very silly here, mate. I think you might be able to redeem yourself here. Martial absolutely tore apart the best defender of all time, Van Dijk. When? Name me the goal. When did that happen? In the 15-16 season? No. No, he didn't. Daniel, did you do something different with your hair? No. And Pup, I'm clutching at straws. Ronaldinho started with PSG. Yeah, he didn't, did he? I'm sure he was with... he was in Brazil before he arrived at PSG. Come on, West Ham. Let's get a second before half-time here. Hit it. Oh, hey, he's suspect, this keeper. He's suspect, Nick Pope, at the minute. Oh, hey, there you go. Nearly two. Nearly two. Oh, hey, who's that? Who's that in midfield? Bruno Guimaraes passing it straight out of play. He's absolutely shocking. West Ham on the right-hand side. Wan-Bissaka. Oh, it's an own goal! It's 2! Bang on half-time. The best centre-back in the world, Sven Botman. It's 2 to West Ham. Yes, come on then. Oh, Newcastle are falling to bits. They're falling to bits. I told you there'd be a result in this for West Ham. Sven Botman with a shocking own goal. And do you know what? The two of them today. We've been asked about Sven Botman and Malik Thiaw and how are they going to do. Well, it's a shocking bit of defending from Botman. But in the first 20, whenever the penalty was given, that's both of them now that have made errors in this game. Oh, it's just unsavable from Nick Pope. Beating West Ham isn't for everyone, says Liam. Sven Botman with the own goal. And Nuno Santo's got a massive smile on his face. He's got a coat hanger in his mouth, the lad. Very clumsy from Sven Botman. And West Ham 2, Newcastle 1 as we about... It's going to be half-time as soon as he kicks this off. Is he? Is it going to be straight off? Straight onto half-time? Yeah, there you go. Straight in. And there you go. Game done. Oh no, I've got to restart the game for some reason. Getting West Ham are dreadful as well. Shocking from Newcastle. And Daniel Ronaldinho knew Arteta was at PSG, so was desperate to join the club. Here's Voltemade. Murphy. Oh, keep him out. Good lads. Ben Hadamir with my FPL. Left Semenyo's vice captain. City away court. Expect much. Oh, City away can't expect much. I don't know, you know. I think if Bournemouth are to get anything today, then it probably will come from Semenyo. Botman is ruining my bet here, says DS. I just had both teams to score. I couldn't call this one today. I thought that West Ham could beat these. They're no great shakes, Newcastle, and I thought that West Ham could get a result here. I think they've fully deserved to be in front. Put it that way, they definitely deserve to be in front. And Newcastle are going to have to do something very special in this second half. Right, yes, quiz time. So, quiz time today is based around Premier League all-time top goal scorers, right? I want you to tell me the top 20 all-time Premier League top goal scorers with a catch. They can't have won the Premier League, the FA Cup, the League Cup, or the Champions League. Premier League, FA Cup, League Cup, or Champions League. They can't have won any of the big four, right? So basically we're talking about at least a career in the Premier League that's potless. Right? So that's what we're talking about here. Top all-time goal scorers, top 20... but they can't have won any of the big four. Premier League, League Cup, FA Cup, or Champions League. Go. Fire away. G. Lawrence, Harry Kane. First up, there you go. Harry Kane is top, 213 goals. He is number one in the list. Christopher Flaherty, Mo Salah. No, Mo Salah has won all 4 of those things. You've missed the point of the quiz there, Mo. Sorry. Oh, cheers, JB. I didn't even notice I still had the game timer going. Go on, let's get the second half set up. Right, there you go. So, yeah, Mo Salah is not the... What are we saying? Heung-min Son. Heung-min Son is correct. Yes, Heung-min Son didn't... Where is he? Hang on a second. Yes, Heung-min Son is 5th. Heung-min Son is 5th. Chris Wood. Chris Wood, I don't believe he is. Let me check again. So Chris Wood is on... How many Premier League goals is he on? No, Chris Wood is not. He is 1 goal behind Kevin Nolan, believe it or not. Oh, I've just told you on then. I've just told you on Kevin Nolan. Was Defoe at Spurs when they won the Cup in 2008? No, apparently he wasn't. It was before Spurs. So he left Spurs in 2008 and went to Portsmouth in the January. Spurs won the Cup, the League Cup, but he didn't get a medal because he didn't play. And he didn't get in the FA Cup because he was cup tied for Spurs. So he didn't get a medal for Portsmouth, who also won the FA Cup that year. So it's an edge case, that one, apparently. It's an edge case for Jermaine Defoe. Come on, keep them coming. Darren Bent. Darren Bent is correct, as is Les Ferdinand, yes. No, Shearer isn't right. No, he has famously won a Premier League. Alan Shearer. Les Ferdinand is correct. Jermaine Defoe is correct. Heung-min Son is correct. Darren Bent is correct. I've told you about Kevin Nolan. Not Pavlyuchenko, no. James, Lukaku is correct. Yes, Lukaku hasn't won, according to this anyway. Romelu Lukaku has scored 121 Premier League goals for West Brom, Everton, Man United and Chelsea, and didn't win anything with any of them while he was there. Peter Crouch won an FA Cup with Liverpool. So no, not Peter Crouch. Keep them coming. We've got another 5 minutes to half time, so we're all good. We've got plenty of time. Not Duncan Ferguson. Duncan Ferguson won the FA Cup with Everton in '95. And Gabby Agbonlahor, yes, Gabby Agbonlahor is correct. He is in there. Big Dunk, what's the quiz? The quiz is the top 20 all-time Premier League goal scorers that haven't won the Premier League, the League Cup, the FA Cup, or the Champions League. So we're looking for unsuccessful high scorers in the Prem. Gabby Agbonlahor is correct, yes. Matt Le Tissier, yes, Matt Le Tissier, famously. Matt Le Tissier is in the list as well, he's number 8. Michu is very good, but he's not the correct answer. Andy Johnson, that is a great shout, yes, on Twitch, well done. Andy Johnson, no major trophies for him, but he scored quite a bit for Palace, Everton, Fulham, and QPR, I think he was at QPR as well. Yeah, good shout, Big Dunk. Andy Johnson is there. Any more for any more? Mark Viduka is correct, yeah. Emmanuel Adebayor, another one. Yes, good shout. Well done. Emmanuel Adebayor has got not quite 100 Premier League goals, but for Arsenal, Man City, Spurs, Crystal Palace, never won a major honour. Doctor Who Mania, Robbie Fowler. Robbie Fowler won the FA Cup and the League Cup with Liverpool. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, correct. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank you've got. I don't think we've got him yet. Darren Bent, yes. Yakubu, yes. Yakubu's a good shout. Dean Ashton, I don't think Dean Ashton is in the list quite. Dean Ashton is certainly eligible. He got to the FA Cup final with West Ham, didn't he? But he didn't. I don't think he's quite got enough Premier League goals to qualify. He's got 19 Premier League goals, Dean Ashton. So no, he's quite a way off. But he was a very good player in those couple of years in the Prem, wasn't he? Before he sadly got a major injury and had to retire. But a really, really good player. So we've got Kevin Nolan, we've got Andy Johnson, we've got Gabby Agbonlahor. Mikhail Antonio, given us we're watching West Ham, that's a great shout. Yeah, Mikhail Antonio is correct. Mikhail Antonio, very much the right one. Yeah, he's a good shout. We've got Harry Kane, yeah. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, no. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, believe it or not, no. He does fit the profile. He hasn't won any of the thingies, the major trophies, but he doesn't qualify in terms of number of goals scored. Dominic Calvert-Lewin has only scored 57 Premier League goals, which puts him below Kevin Nolan, who's bottom of this list. Not James Rodriguez, not Kanu, not Arshavin. Kevin Davis, great shout. Yeah, Kevin Davis is correct. 82 Premier League goals for Kevin Davis for Southampton, Blackburn, Bolton. Any more? Vardy won a Prem. He did. Yes, we've had some. Andy Johnson, such a throwback. Dimitri Payet, again, not quite enough for Dimitri Payet. 124, what's the question? The question is, we're looking for top 20 Premier League all-time goal scorers, but they can't have won the Premier League, the Champions League, the FA Cup, or the League Cup. And Jared Bowen, again, is another one. Jared Bowen is a very good shout, but he doesn't quite make the list purely because Jared Bowen is not quite enough goals scored. He didn't score as many as Kevin Nolan. I think he's on about 60 or so in his Premier League career so far. Luis Suarez has won a Champions League famously with Barcelona. So no, it's not Luis Suarez. And he's won a League Cup with Liverpool as well, hasn't he? I'm pretty sure. Won a League Cup with us before he left. Gylfi Sigurdsson, you were saying. Gylfi Sigurdsson has 64 Premier League goals. So again, not quite in the list. Not Brian Mbeumo. No, not Brian Mbeumo. We've got Les Ferdinand. Yes, Les Ferdinand is in the... he famously has won a... Oh no, Les Ferdinand is in the list, sorry. I was going to say he has won a Premier League title. He's not. He's in the list. We've done it. And Tim Cahill only got 56 Premier League goals. So again, he doesn't quite qualify. Yeah, Tim Cahill doesn't quite qualify. Richarlison has 67. Yeah, that's below Kevin Nolan. So he might well catch it. He might be in the list inevitably, but Kevin Nolan is bottom of this list. With 69, I think it said. 69 Premier League goals. One second, let me catch up. So we've got Harry Kane, Jermaine Defoe, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, Heung-min Son, Romelu Lukaku. You've got 5. They're the top 5. Dion Dublin is correct as well. Yes. Darren Bent. You've got Matt Letizia. We've got Emmanuel Adebayor. We've got Yakubu. You've got Kevin Phillips. You've got Mark Viduka. Kevin Davis, Mikhail Antonio, Gabriel Agbonlahor, Andy Johnson, Kevin Nolan. There is the last couple remaining. There's 3 left to get. Danny Ings is a good shout. Yes, Danny Ings is a good shout. He got 72, I believe, with Burnley, Southampton, Villa and West Ham. So you've got... Which ones are left to get? 11 and 14, I think. I don't think we've said number 14. I could be wrong. But yeah, you've got 2 left to get. 2 left to get. Not Aubameyang, he won the cup. Not Robbie Keane either. No, he won the cup with Tottenham, I believe. That's definitely a penalty, that. I can't believe that. James Beattie. James Beattie, great shout. 90 Premier League goals with Southampton, Everton, Stoke and Blackburn. James Beattie is correct. And the last one, which we're still waiting on, given the game's just about to start, is Christian Benteke. Christian Benteke with 86 for Villa, Liverpool and Palace. No cup for him, though. So there you go. Reece, Emile Heskey. It's not Emile Heskey. No, Emile Heskey won many trophies with Liverpool. And I think he won a League Cup with Leicester as well before he left. 1, 2, 4, Viduka. No, it's not Viduka. Viduka was in the list. I apologise. We already said him. Right, what we saying? Phil McCracken. Hey, the 1960s called. They want your views on women back. Right, so we're off for the second half. What time are we on? 45:18. Yeah, no, it wasn't Bobby Zamora. And it wasn't David Ginola. Good question, to be fair. Cheers, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. To be honest, it's a difficult one, that one, because it's an ever-changing list, isn't it? Like, there's quite a few players who are maybe just outside the top 20 who kind of week by week could be creeping into the top 20. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Jared Bowen, players like that who are still playing, who could well sneak into it. It's a bit puzzling, isn't it, when you look at the likes of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Jared Bowen, and you think how long they've been in the Prem, and they've still, like, barely got 60 goals. Shows you how difficult it is to get over 100 Premier League goals, doesn't it? James, game missing 11 is really fun. Could be difficult on a stream though. Missing 11, is that where I put up a picture of an 11 and you've got to tell me the missing player? I want to do more stuff like that, but to be honest, it feels like the football quiz market is somewhat cornered. I was just looking for something fun to do in between games at half time. It's more for me than anything else. But we have a bit of fun. We have a giggle with it. But every game I do a little half time quiz. West Ham counter attack. Come on. Reece, guessing an 11 based off nationality could be interesting. Guessing an 11 based off nationality. Oh yeah, with the flags. Oh yeah, that could be okay. I mean, to be honest, that's tough, isn't it? That is very tough. Could do though. It's how you do it on a. I could do it on YouTube. I could certainly do it on. It's difficult to do it at TikTok. Yeah, it's difficult to do it with TikTok. But certainly could do it on YouTube and Twitch. Dead easy on YouTube and Twitch. Jared Bowen, ball in. Oh, nearly 3. They're struggling here, Newcastle. Career path questions, yeah. See how early someone gets it. See, do you know what I want to do? I really, really want to try and find a way to get people to be able to dial into the stream so that we can get like right, one week or one stream, right, Reece, you're going to call in or whatever, and we'll literally have you talking. You don't have to come on camera if you don't want, but like, just, right, you know, this is the picture, it's just for, and then people are watching you participate rather than it be like a whole thing where everyone's diving in, because sometimes it's dead, you can't miss the chat goes dead quick, you can't get everyone's answers. Newcastle down the left hand side with Joe Linton, ball swung in and cleared away by West Ham. That's better. Dr. Who Mania, Duncan Ferguson. Duncan Ferguson won the FA Cup with Everton in 1995, didn't he? Yeah, I'm pretty confident he won the trophy with him in 1995. Although he certainly would have met the criteria. He scored 42, 54, 84 goals. And he won the FA Cup, yeah. So he doesn't meet the criteria because he won the FA Cup, but he certainly had the number of goals. Three-star Red says Nuno Ball will give Newcastle a chance to get back into this at some point. Don't say that. Come on, we need West Ham to hang on here. Come on, Newcastle. Look out. It should have been 3-1 to West Ham this in the first half. That's better. Well done, Paquetá. What we saying, Dr. Humania? Di Canio? No, Di Canio is correct in that he didn't win a Premier League, didn't win Premier League, didn't win a Champions League, didn't win a League Cup, didn't win an FA Cup. However, he only scored, I believe, I'll get you the exact figure, but I believe he only scored 63 Premier League goals Di Canio got. Oh no, sorry, 68, I tell a lie. Which is less than Kevin Nolan. Only slightly, mind. Right, Newcastle out on the right-hand side. Josh Murphy, keepers all day, that, well done. Swifty, Newcastle certainly haven't looked like a top 4 team when I've watched them this season. Red Wave LFC, how West Ham winning a game of football. To be honest, Newcastle, I feel like Newcastle's whole style has changed. I don't know if it's just like what happened over the summer, or maybe it's the fact that they've got Voltemada up front instead of Alexander Isak. They haven't really got a player that can stretch defences as much. So the whole system has changed. Here's Somerville. Good strike, unlucky. KP, what is your prediction on the Man City game? Prediction on the Man City game, I think City win that comfortably. I'm going to go 3-1. Yeah, I'll go 3-1. 3-star Reds, Roy Keane. Roy Keane won plenty of FA Cups with Manchester United. Treble, famously. And he won the Champions League. And he won the Premier League. He did alright, didn't he? Mugisha says hi. It's going to be an away win, 3-2. I hope you're wrong, mate. KP, that's what I got in my acca. Good lad. Great minds think alike, man. And Callum, if West Ham score here, they win it. Oh, Newcastle. Bit heavy, bit heavy. They made a treble change at half-time, Newcastle. And here's Asula. Keep him out. Well done. It's going to be a corner, is it? No, throw in. JB the Red, are you doing the Man City live? And if so, then I'll be ready for another quiz. Yes, I am doing the Man City live. I'll be straight on after this one's finished. Or, admittedly, with a little 20-minute lag in between. Newcastle out to the left-hand side with... Who's this? That's our ball, well done. I really like him, Manuel Fernandes is a really, really talented player. I think he's going to do well for West Ham. Reece, you forget West Ham Stadium was the Olympic Stadium years ago. I don't think they want it though, do they? The West Ham fans are up in arms about that Olympic Stadium. They don't like it. They do not like it. They've said many, many times that they'd rather leave. They'd rather go and get another stadium. Even if you could give them the Upton Park back, they would gladly take Upton Park over this. You're miles away from the stadium. You're miles away from the pitch. It's not a particularly good. It's not a particularly good view, according to him, and it's really difficult to create an atmosphere because of the bowl-like structure. You're not right on top of the players, so. I think they're trying to experiment with it a little bit to try and bring the fans closer. And one of the things they're looking at is putting seats. Do you know where behind the goal there, where the red thingy is? They're on about putting seats there, so it's a little bit like I guess like the O2. So you've got the stands, but then you've also got like seated like on the floor as well. So it might just bring a little bit more noise, and it'll also open up maybe a few thousand seats as well. If they do it around the whole pitch. Liam Manning says, miss Upton Park, fans on the pitch pretty much intimidated like White Hart Lane. It was good, wasn't it? Both of them, to be honest. James, one of the worst pro stadiums in the country. User 631, hey Key, it's me, Ed. Oh, good to see you, Ed. Newcastle all the way back. And Liam Manning, same as Goodison Park to an extent. Yeah, Goodison Park, again, I don't think Everton fans will love. I mean, they don't love the new stadium, do they? The new stadium in Everton, it looks very, very similar to Spurs. It's a little bit boxy. But it's so difficult for them to get to. They all have whinged about how horrific the stadium is in terms of parking, transport links, getting to and from the ground. Everything's more expensive. It's one of them where they're not. I think they're going to yearn for Goodison Park in years to come. Delta Force. It's funny how many people forget or don't know that Alan Shearer won the Prem with Blackburn. Yeah, won it at Anfield as well, famously, didn't he? Liverpool beat Blackburn on the final day, but by the fact that United, did they lose with West Ham? I think they drew, didn't they? Ended up drawing with West Ham on the final day. Blackburn won the league at Anfield, lifted the league title at Anfield, and that was the big dig aimed at Liverpool, wasn't it? The last time a title was won at Anfield, it was lifted by Kenny Dalglish, but it wasn't as a Liverpool player or manager. And it hurt that for a very long time. Blackburn have lifted a Premier League trophy at Anfield before Liverpool. Phil says, why we substituted Voldemort. Voldemort? Probably because he wasn't doing anything. James says, stadium itself helps the club massively. Yeah, but it kind of... do you not think it like punishes the fans massively? Like, financially, it might open up a few doorways, but it's so tough to get to and from the stadium. And every Everton fan I've spoke to have said, like, it's a nightmare. It's logistically, it's not brilliant. It's like they've not thought about the fact that they're going to have to get thousands and thousands of people to and from the stadium, and they've put it kind of in the arse end of nowhere a little bit. And yeah. Not great, but hey, listen, it might have net Everton a few more shekels in the long run. Swifty, you'd assume parking and transport will improve going forward. There's not really an awful lot of places for them to do it though. If you look at the stadium and you look at where it is, the nearest train station is not, and like bus routes and everything around there. It's like the whole infrastructure is way off, and I don't see, and certainly not an easy way for them to improve it. It might, I'm sure it will improve over time, but it might have to be shuttle buses at the club's expense or something like. I have no idea. Osulala is rubbish. Osulala is rubbish. You know about Osula? Nah, I like Osula. I like William Osula. James, it is, but Goodison revenue is terrible. Worth the bad parking to keep the club afloat. The question is it going to kick Everton on? I think that's the real big thing for Everton. The reason they moved ultimately is because they wanted to be able to try and compete long term. And hopefully it does, because they've sacrificed. In time, maybe the stadium becomes a bit better. Obviously, it takes a while for stadiums to build a bit of history and atmosphere and, a bit of intimidation, I guess. But Goodison was always really, really difficult. It was a horrible place to go, Goodison Park, as an away ground. So we'll see, yeah. We'll see. We shall see. JB the Red, nearest train station is London Liverpool Street. Been there before, isn't it? I thought it was Sandals. It's not Sandals. I'm sure people get on at Sandals. Although again, I could be wrong. I've not been to the new Everton Stadium as yet. The Hill Dickinson, the Hill Dicko. Phil McCracken saying shekels is actually racist. Google it. No, it's not. Shekels is an old coin. Yeah, shekels is just old money, isn't it? At least that was my understanding of it. Phil McCracken, Goodison had a strange smell. James Sandils is tiny, it can't accommodate that many people. That's what I was going to say. That seems to be the feedback from, certainly from like PED and stuff like that. People at Toffee TV, they've said the same. It's unless they effectively rebuild the entire train station, that's kind of the main route into the stadium, isn't it? And it's a really small one, so it's like they've built the stadium but maybe not thought about how the hell are we going to safely and reasonably get to and from. There's people who have said they live fairly locally, like, and it's taken them an hour and a half to get home after the game, which is crazy, isn't it? JB the Dread, do you live nearer to Everton or Liverpool? I think as the crow flies, where I was born is nearer. I don't know, actually. I don't know. Certainly nearer to those are the two clubs. Those are definitely the two clubs. The nearest club to the River Mersey, I was always surprised by this, but the nearest club to the River Mersey is Stockport County. I didn't know that. There's always one that people get caught out by that. What's the nearest football club? The nearest football stadium to the River Mersey, and everyone's kind of guessing, is it Goodison Park? Is it Anfield? Is it Tranmere? Is it Prenton Park? It's actually Stockport County. Swifty, I remember going to Goodison in 91 and felt it was one of the best grounds then. And James, it takes me about an hour. Yeah, there's people who live... I can't remember, there was a fellow giving an interview not long after the stadium opened, and he was like, it's getting to the point where I'm having to leave before the end of the game, and I don't want to do that. But if I don't, it's taking me like 2 and a bit hours sometimes. Ben, why have they started playing the League Cup semi at Hampden? Maybe it's a bit like Wembley. They're just trying to get the cash, trying to get the full value for it. Gelato, do you reckon Salah is still on to break more records at LFC? He could do, yeah. He could do. I think he could maybe break Shearer's record if he sticks around for another couple of years. Delta Force, that is some really crazy stories about Alan Shearer in Razor Ruddock's book. Oh, there is some really crazy stories. Like what? Give me some stories about Alan Shearer from Razor Ruddock. Robbo, NUFC 1-2 West Ham. Well, that's what it is so far. James Hill Dickinson can co-host or can host concerts rugby in the Euros, brings the club a shit ton more money. Yeah, well, what was it? It was the Ashes yesterday. The Ashes. I can't remember what it was that was being hosted at Goodison yesterday. Liam Manning, this game is as dry as last night's Chelsea game. It's certainly died down a little bit as a spectacle, hasn't it? West Ham haven't really got going, and Newcastle haven't really done an awful lot either. Here's Manuel Fernandez. That's a foul. Referee Joe Linton's just absolutely took him out. I Am Crew says Ornstein has tweeted about Gary O'Neill. Do you know what? It feels like Gary O'Neill would go in and he'd be sacked himself within 12 months. England rugby match there yesterday. Yeah, I was going to say a couple of my mates went that yesterday. AJ, come on you Irons. Yeah, come on West Ham. Get the game finished off here. Iron Crete, apparently Carrick is also being considered. Carrick's not a good shout for Wolves manager. I'd be amazed. I'd be absolutely amazed if Bruno Guimaraes has just been told to have a word with Joe Linton, otherwise he's going to get himself sent off here. Dr. Humania, what's your prediction for the City v Bournemouth game? I think 3-1 City. I think Bournemouth might surprise them maybe, but I think City ultimately step it up today. Good ball in. Oh, big save from Nick Pope. Oh, it's going to be a corner. Rob Edwards as well. Rob Edwards isn't a bad shout. Yeah, Rob Edwards is also, that's okay. I don't mind Rob Edwards. But personally, I think it has to go to... I'd want to see it go to someone like Carlos Corberan. I know he's not in the list. I don't think they can get Brendan Rodgers. Chance! Oh, tipped over the bar by Pope. Yeah, next Wolves manager is, the odds are, so these are the main shouts, the main names. Gary O'Neill, I don't think he should get it. Brendan Rodgers, I don't think he would take it. Eric Ten Hag, I don't think he would take it. I think Kevin Muscat wants it. Sergio Conceição, he did really well at Porto and did well at, well, even he was sacked at AC Milan quite quickly, wasn't he? But Conceição, there's a manager in there. I think he would be a disaster. He could come in and probably get Wolves relegated. He's probably one that the agents are touting. He's probably that seems to me like he's a suggestion from like who's the super agent who was at Wolves? Chance must be, yeah, it's 3-1. It's 3-1 and it's Potts. It's there and that's it. West Ham have won the game. They've wrapped it up. 3-1 to West Ham. 3-1 to West Ham. That's not got ruled out, has it? That's not got ruled out, has it? Behave yourself. That's not a foul. That's never a foul. Let's get this one checked. Let's get this one checked. Yeah, he is offside as well, isn't he? It's going to be tight, this, though. That's snug. It's snug. Oh, hey, unlucky. It's going to be checked. Doctor Who Mania, there's a lot of roundabout managers at the minute. Could you imagine Ange being there? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I think, would take it. Yeah, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer could be. I think Lee Carsley would be a good shout as well. And then you've got Edin Terzic, Marco Rose, Adi Hutter. No. I think the managers that Wolves should look at and would accept it are Kevin Muscat, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Lee Carsley. Those are the managers they should be looking at. They don't want to be getting involved in Sergio Conceição and Marco Rose and Edin Terzic and people like that. James says Rodgers isn't getting a better Premier League job than Wolves, and I Am Cruty thinks he deserves better though. I'd agree with that. He's delusional, says James. He's not getting any better after what the Celtic owner said about him. Jack Dennehy, how's the game going? Can Newcastle come back? Well, there's no signs of that, Jack. West Ham have been the better team. They've just had a goal ruled out. They had a penalty in the first half, which questionable, was VAR'd and ruled out, but should have been given out in my opinion. West Ham 2-1 up and relatively comfortable up to this point. They maybe look more likely to score than Newcastle do. But yeah, I didn't. To be honest, what did the Celtic owner say about Brendan Rodgers? The Celtic owner hasn't said anything bad. I've just read what the Celtic owner said about him. The Celtic owner said quite nice things about Brendan Rodgers. What are we talking about then? I haven't heard him say anything bad about it at all. Could have missed that, like. I'm entirely possible that I've missed it. Oh, here we go. This is. I think we're on about a board. We're on about a board member. It's not the Celtic owner. It's just a member of the board who said, "Does he produce good teams? Yes, he does. Does he win things? Well, he certainly has in Scotland, and he had a good Leicester team as well. But there's always the but there with Brendan. I feel it is self-serving most of the time when you hear an owner or part owner come out and say so many strong words. Brendan's pushed the boat there. His comments didn't go down well, certainly with the club, and you can have your problems with not spending or whatever. What do you think the dressing room's going to think? That you're saying your players are more like a Honda Civic? Is that fair? Apparently that is what Brendan Rodgers said, isn't it, publicly about his players, that he said we've got Honda Civics in the team, not the Ferraris and the Porsches. That's not a great look publicly, so I can kind of understand him calling him out on that. But hey, yeah. Celtic and Brendan Rodgers may be parting ways in not the nicest of ways, but the owner was quite complimentary about Brendan Rodgers from what I've just read. Even if one of the board members wasn't. GG says PR need to get involved and revise the statement. To be fair, Neil Lennon has backed the Celtic owners up as well, or the Celtic board member up, and said, yeah, it's about right what he's saying. So yeah, I don't think, I personally am of the opinion, I could be wrong, but I think that Brendan Rodgers thinks the Wolves job is beneath him. I don't think he would go to Wolves. I'd be astonished if he went to Wolves. You don't go from Liverpool Football Club to Leicester City, who were in the Champions League at the time, to Celtic, who are champions of Scotland and in the Champions League and all that. You don't go from Champions League teams to Wolves. Just doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. 3-star Reds, not tugging in the box, but certainly is snug in the box. And Delta Force, last night on Newcastle channel, they were all going for a 4 or 5-0 win. I said we'll probably get beat because of the law of averages will kick in sooner or later. I just think Newcastle have been really poor today, mate. I don't think they deserve to be... Based on the 75 minutes of football we've witnessed, Newcastle don't deserve a point out of this. They've been poor. West Ham have been the better team, and it's not been a good performance at all from Newcastle. And something told me today, I thought it was going to be a good game for West Ham. They needed to turn up today, and it was a good game. Well done, great block. Do you know what? And that's been a really big moment there for West Ham. The pressure and the intensity from midfield has been massive today. The difference between having Manuel Fernandes and Lucas Paquetá put in the running that they have put in today has been brilliant. They have been terrific. Manuel Fernandes in particular, I think, has done really, really well. But Paquetá's had a good game. Souček as well, yeah. Souček too. Reece, would Souček do well at Palace? I think he would have done well at Palace. I'm not doing Souček down, but I feel like Palace have become a bit more of a playing football style team. You know, they were certainly under the likes of Warnock and Hodgson, and you know they looked for Součeks, didn't they? They had players like that. Now, it's less about that for Palace. It feels like they're a little bit more. They're not looking for Cheku Kouyaté. They're looking for sort of Adam Whartons and cultured midfielders. Keep them out. That sounded a little bit. I don't like how that sounded on reflection. Let's rephrase it. They're not looking for Thomas Součeks. They're not looking for Thomas Součeks. They're looking for Moise Caicedos, or they're looking for. Do you know what? Even Daichi Kamada or Sheikh Doucouré. I don't like how that sounded on reflection. 3-star Reds. If this result stays the same, then the beat the drop battle gets interesting. I still think Wolves stay up. I do. I've backed West Ham to go down, and that might be silly of me, but I do think Wolves stay up when they get it right. West Ham corner ball. Oh, Pope caught him. Pope said those 3 words you love to hear. It's a penalty to Rangers. Pen to Rangers. And Reece says it's crazy that Bournemouth go into the City game as favourites. No, they don't. City are comfortably favourites with the bookies. What's Asula doing? All the way back. I can't understand, though, why Newcastle fans are so against Will Osula. I think he's a talented player. I like him a lot, you know. Oh, skied over the bar. 3-star Reds. Nuno's old boy could spoil Nuno's day. Who's Nuno's old boy? Nuno's old boy? Who's that? Nuno's old boy? Right, Crescencio Somerville coming off for Kyle Walker-Peters. Goal, Tavernier for Rangers. It's Celtic 1, Rangers 1. Liam Manning, Ilanga. Oh, is Ilanga on now? I didn't see. Yeah, Anthony Ilanga's come on. Big last 12, 15 minutes this one. Newcastle, Joe Linton, this is better from them. Bit sharper, bit more incisive around the edge, but they're just being met with 2, 3 banks pressing them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. West Ham have got a back 5, and then they've got a 3-player shield in front of that back 5. Oh, ref, you've had an absolute shocker there, Lino. That was a clear foul on West Ham. Blake Griffin, I can't get my head around Ilanga for 55 million. I can get my head around it that it happened, and I can understand why, because he was really, really good at Forest. But he's not shown up at Newcastle so far, has he? Reece, I can see Areola going to Real Madrid or something like that. Yeah, Real Madrid, Barcelona, any of them. He's certainly up for one of those Spanish teams, isn't he? Newcastle pushing forward. Ilanga. Poor first touch. Here's Tonali. Cleared away. West Ham defending well. This is better. This is really good pressure. Paquetá. I can't tell you how good Paquetá and Manuel Fernandes have been today for these. They have been absolutely sensational for West Ham today. Really, really good. Newcastle can't live with the press. Top quality. Why is Eddie Howe complaining to the 4th official here? Eddie, there's nothing. They've done nothing wrong, mate. Rangers nearly 2-1. Defending like beavers. Fighting like beavers. Right, West Ham now on the counter with Jarrod Bowen. Come on, they can finish the game off here. They've got a bit of an overload if they get this right. Paquetá must be. Oh, you've got to finish that. Be yourself, Dylan. I remember. Oh, sorry, I fancy Sunderland tomorrow. I do, you know. Plenty of Everton fans fancy Sunderland tomorrow. They're a bit worried about that. The away form's not been brilliant, and Sunderland have been brilliant at the Stadium of Light. So it's a good opportunity for Sunderland to get 3 points. But Everton are under David Moyes in a very, very difficult side to ground down. I'm sure they won't make it easy either. James, remember people were shocked when Bournemouth replaced O'Neill with Iraola. Yes, yeah, that was another brave call, wasn't it? But Bournemouth seem to get everything right. Same with Brighton. They're very heavy on the data, aren't they? Brighton and Bournemouth. They've got a lot of decisions right in terms of players and managers, and it doesn't kind of matter whether if they lose a manager or they lose a player, they tend to go and get the next one off the production line. They've picked up some really, really good players, both Brighton and Bournemouth, that nobody was really looking at, haven't they? Look at Truffert. Look at Truffert coming in. As soon as Kirkes leaves, they got Kirkes from, was it AZ Alkmaar? Nobody would have looked at Kirkes at AZ Alkmaar. They go and get him. They sell him for 40 million quid. 12 to 18 months later, and then they go out and buy Adrian Truffert at Rennes, who, again, he was talented at Rennes. I watched a lot of him, but I didn't think he was a player who would have come to the Prem and just immediately had an impact like he has. I think he's probably been the best left back in the league. £12 million as well, yeah. James, we've been terrible. If we stick with the same approach, then Sunderland will do us. There's been talk, James, I want to get your views on this as a toffee, as a blue. There's been talk about putting Illiman and Dye up front at centre forward, because obviously the players you've got up front, Beto and Tierno Barry. I mean, Beto's a nightmare. Beto's not a centre forward you should be starting. I don't know why then he doesn't try and give Tierno Barry a chance. For me, I would be committing Tierno Barry. I would be committing to starting Tierno Barry if he's paid 30 million quid for him. I know he's not fantastic, but he's better than Beto, or at least he's got a future at the club. Beto doesn't. You're going to sell him to the first bidder, aren't you? So for that reason, I don't understand why they're not just going, we're going to play him no matter what. Give him to the end of the season, or at least give him till January, and we'll try and bring someone else in. But there's been talk about putting Illiman and Dye up there at centre forward, because he's kind of out there on the right wing. He's not really getting any chances, is he? The ball keeps going to Grealish, and Illiman and Dye is getting very, very few opportunities on the ball. And when he does get opportunities, like we saw against City, he's having better games, he's having better moments. But when Grealish is on the pitch, he's a little bit isolated. We didn't see anything of him in the derby. He was, I mean, he managed to get an assist, didn't he? He got an assist for Idrissa Gana Gueye, but didn't really do an awful lot in the derby. Delta Force, do you think Tonali would get into the current Liverpool side? No, I don't think so. Not the first 11 anyway. I wouldn't swap Tonali for Szoboszlai or McAllister or Gravenberch. Certainly not Gravenberch or Szoboszlai. McAllister at this moment in time has been pretty awful this season. He's been terrible. McAllister's been awful this season. And if you ask if I would swap, if that was what we're going to see from McAllister going forward, then yes, I'd swap Tonali for McAllister in a heartbeat. But I wouldn't swap. If it's McAllister of last year, then no, Tonali doesn't scratch the surface on McAllister. Blake Griffin says Newcastle haven't won away all season, dreadful. And James says we should be backing Barry. I'd like to try and Die up top, but he's better when dropping deep. Yeah, that's probably a fair assessment. Just it's something that I've seen a few Everton fans mentioning. I thought it was interesting that had been sort of floated as an idea, as maybe to put Ilman and Die at centre forward. But we'll see. We'll see tomorrow what he does, because something tells me Moyes will continue to stick with this approach of Beto at centre forward and Grealish left and Die right, and probably Kieran Dewsbury all at the number 10 with Garner and Gay just behind him. I think that's probably what we see. Big Dunk says Tonali is quality. He is. No, he's a very good player. I just don't think he's better than Gravenberch, Szoboszlai or McAllister. And Reece, surely Granit Xhaka to Sunderland has to go down as a very good signing. He's changed them. Granit Xhaka to me would be signing of the season. Yeah, I said it the other day, mate. I think he's been signing of the season so far. I think he's been transformative for him. Jamie Berry, who's winning? It's West Ham 2, Newcastle 1. And JB the Red says, and Dye was good last season. I can't see why some club like Brentford didn't get him. That's a bit of a dig at Everton, that. I think Everton would consider themselves bigger than Brentford. And, I can understand why they went for Dango Ouattara, because he's a slightly more... He penetrates a bit better than Illiman and Dye, doesn't he? I think he's got more pace. Illiman and Dye is maybe a dribbler. And Dango Ouattara is a player who can get in behind and stretch teams, whereas I don't think Iliman Ndiaye is that sort of player. He's a wonderful player, Iliman Ndiaye, but he's not... I feel like he's a little bit inconsistent at times. I've said this a few times. I think he's a really, really talented player, and he dribbles like fantastically well, but doesn't create enough. He doesn't create enough big chances. He doesn't get any, he's had 1 assist in 18 months in the Premier League. That's not good for a top creative attacking player. And he had fewer assists. In fact, he has still got fewer assists for Everton than Ashley Young. Ashley Young, who played at right back all last season, pretty much, has more big chances created for Everton, even though he left last season, or he left at the end of last season. Swifty, Newcastle haven't created a chance here and they're chasing the game. That's true, very true. Blake, West Ham need to sign a leader in January of the Xhaka ilk. Yes, I would agree with that. I think they're lacking another player in that midfield area. I thought Ward-Prowse could be that, but it turns out he's not really that sort of a player. But Manuel Fernandes and Paquetá have been brilliant today. The midfielders look. That's been an area of concern for West Ham, and you know they've got players ahead of them that can hurt opposition teams, like Bowen and Somerville. We know can have a go at the opposition. But the midfield's just really, really let West Ham down this season, and that's why they are where they are. But as soon as Nuno's come in, it feels like, certainly this game, I've seen a massive, massive difference. I don't know what they're doing differently. I don't know if he's just had a chat to him. I don't know if he's maybe made the instructions a bit clearer. But Paquetá and Manuel Fernandes today would be 9.5 out of 10 for the pair of them. James, hopefully starting role tomorrow. Stick Garner back at left back. And that's what resulted in Mykolenko, Ashley Young, Lindstrom, Harrison, Decore, even Tarkovsky, I think, had more big chances created for Everton last season than Iliman Ndiaye. So, and 1 assist in 18 months tells you everything. So I can understand that's maybe in part due to the fact he's got better up front. But the big chances created is definitely a metric that he needs to do better in, because he drifts out of games far too often. And I think that's probably going to be a reason why there's already talk about, is he a player that maybe clubs would look at, a City and Arsenal, someone like that, would they go and have a look at Iliman Ndiaye? I don't think Everton would want 60-70 million to sell him, and I don't think there'd be a club that would pay that sort of money for a player with 1 assist in the Premier League. You're just not paying it, are you? It's not good enough. Reece, Callum Wilson hasn't really worked out at West Ham. That's very true. ZQXV being unlucky today. Who? Newcastle? You must be joking me. Newcastle haven't been unlucky. You're lucky you're still in the game. West Ham have battered you. Swifty, they must like Potts. He's done all right. Yes, I was going to say Potts. That's a very fair shout as well. I forgot about that. Potts has been a really good performer today in the midfield for him. Here's Jared Bowen. Hit it. Oh, skied it. James Mykolenko has been atrocious, and Garner was great there in the opening start of the season. Be yourself, Dylan. Man United want to sign Endrick. Crikey. Isn't Endrick on about going to Portugal? Sure, they looked at him going to Portugal. Leon Key, can I drop you a message about something? Yeah, absolutely, mate. No problem. Finners Matty, I'm not very happy that Ekatiki's goal was offside. I had both him and Sobbo in my FPL. And Pup says it's finished 1-1, Celtic and Rangers, another 30 minutes needed. It's going to go to extra time. Blake says Everton need attacking depth and Dye's a midfielder. I feel like they don't need... I don't think they needed to sign Jack Grealish. I think the one area of the pitch that Everton should have prioritised was right back. Because they've got a centre-back playing right back. They needed a right back. They needed maybe a centre mid. And I think they probably needed a centre forward as well. Or at least a better one than Barry. And in the end, they spent a big load of money and wages on Jack Grealish, which is one area of the pitch they already had Hillerman and Dye. He was already flying. Finners Matty, Hendrick's going to Leon, isn't he? Oh, get it away! Good lad. Nearly 2-2 there. Bloody hell. Yeah, someone else has said Leon in for Hendrick as well. And Villa are in for Hendrick too. Reese, apart from Bowen, who else could West Ham put up front to do a job, really? Sven Botman. He's Shah, actually. It's not even Botman. Who could West Ham put up front? Probably Souček. Given the way that the Premier League seems to be going, yeah, probably Souček. Oh, hey, what's that? Asula's just kicked him on the ground. He should be off him for that. Grealish has been great, but didn't make sense when we then paid 40 for Diblin. Yeah, and that's it. And now the mad thing is that they're keeping Diblin out the side, aren't they? That's the crazy thing. Like Tyler Diblin wasn't a bad signing, but you should have committed to having him and Dye on the wings and not signed Grealish at all. And you should have gone and used that money for either another centre forward or specifically a right back. A right back was essential for Everton, I thought. I'm really surprised that Moyes didn't go and get him for a right back. Finners Matty, who do you think Wolves' next manager will be? I'm going to go out on a limb and say Kevin Muscat. I think Kevin Muscat gets it. Yeah, I think he wants the job. He's a Wolves legend. Played over 200 games for Wolves. We know that he's interviewed for Rangers not that long ago. I think he would see the job as a huge opportunity, and I feel like he would add a sufficient amount of nastiness to Wolves that it would be enough to keep them up. Oh! That's a yellow card for Jacob Ramsey, is it? James agreed. We tried Tete and Walker-Peters on a free, but then didn't bid for any after that. It feels like a little bit of a bit chaotic at the end, didn't it? I feel a bit disorganised the way Everton went about the summer transfer business. Kind of didn't go after and then just rushed through a deal for Tyler Diblin at the end. Is Pereira sacked then, says Taylor? Yes. Yeah, Pereira is sacked. He was sacked this morning. A matter of weeks after giving him a new contract. So, a very, very expensive lesson for Wolves, that. Right, West Ham on the counter-attack here. If they get this right... Must be, could be 3. Oh, yeah, it's 3-1. It's 3 and it's Souček. Yeah, get in there. 3-1. A wonderful, wonderful goal, that one. Good counter-attacking play. And West Ham 3, Newcastle 1. James haggled for 4 to 5 weeks on Diblin to save 3 million. Yeah, crazy, innit? Crazy. He's onside, there's no problem with that. It's a great strike from Bowen and Nick Pope just can't get to it in the end. I think Pope should do better there. Again, am I being harsh, or should Pope do better? I think that's harsh. Yeah. Reece, Newcastle getting Europe apparently key. Newcastle getting Europe. No chance. If they do, it'll be Conference League. I can't see him getting Champions League or Europa. Be yourself, Dylan. Martin O'Neill scratched his head, but he wondered where his prayer went. Right, what are we checking for here, ref? What are we actually checking for? Why is there a VAR check on this? What is Pope doing? Maybe he is an awful keeper, like you said the other week. Yeah, he certainly let Newcastle down against Arsenal. It's a goal, that. There's no check on this, surely. Surely no check. He's going to rule it out, isn't he? He's going to rule it out. Hey, there you go. He's give the goal. Get in there. Blake Griffin, Scott Parker next to be sacked on the managerial merry-go-round. See, Joe, I think Scott Parker keeps his job even if Burnley go down. If Burnley go down, rock bottom, I think they keep Scott Parker. JB the Red, who scored it? It was Souček. Thomas Souček with the goal. Swifty, Pope definitely didn't have two hands on that. No, didn't have two. But he's let Newcastle down today. I think he could have done better with two of them. And there you go, full time in this one. West Ham 3, Newcastle 1. What a game that was. I enjoyed that for the most part. Second half was a bit dour and a bit dull, but we got a goal. And West Ham 3, Newcastle 1. Right. Thank you, everyone. I will be back in about 20 minutes, 20 past. I'll be back for the Manchester City game against Bournemouth. So if you want to join me for that, hopefully you will. Give us a like, give us a follow, give us a subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you shortly. See you in about 15, 20 minutes. Take it easy.